What did you have for breakfast this morning? If you had cereals or any wheat product like cakes, bread, pancakes, then it's very likely that what you consumed this morning, at least some of it, came from Europe or America. The reason is that Africa imports a lot of its wheat from outside Africa, from Ukraine, from Russia, and hence the shortfall that we had when the war in Ukraine started. And then, as regards the cereals, the companies that make the cereals, many of them, the main company actually comes from the US. Now, did you know that 10 companies control a lot of the food that is consumed not just in Africa, but in the world? But of course, for us, the relevance has to do with Africa, whether it is the chocolate, whether it is the hot beverages, whether it is soft drinks, whether it is the chewing gums. The vast majority, the huge, massive percentage of that food actually is manufactured by Western companies. Now, what that means is that we in Africa, for the last 60 years since independence, we simply have not been able to come up with companies that can sell food products across Africa. Actually, we have companies that sell a lot of those similar products, but they just cannot compete at a marketing level. They can't compete at a marketing level, which is a big shame, which says a lot about the priorities of our governments. A time has come when we should help local African companies, because there are dozens that are there producing the same products, only that they're losing the marketing war. So the first thing is to educate each other like this and realize that if we are to really grow in Africa, we've got to really prioritize local manufacture. But when well-meaning African entrepreneurs get started, for example, in Kenya, there was a time somebody started a soft drinks company called Softa to compete with Coca-Cola. It did well for a couple of years, was actually favored by low-earning Kenyans, but eventually they just couldn't compete with the economic might of Coca-Cola. So it's really critical. It's really critical that when we talk about local manufacture, first of all, the African populace, 1 billion plus, to begin having this awareness that, hey, wait a minute, we also need to be consuming African products. Yeah. And once that is clear, you begin having a market that is demanding fair competition, that is demanding that African farms, African entrepreneurs should also be given a fighting chance.